first off, both games are very equal in terms of content. They're very equal, like in content. A Prototype 2, like you have main missions, main story missions. A Spider-Man, same idea. A side content, a Prototype 2, you have random missions, shape-shifting missions, find this person. Spider-Man, a side mission, or you're taking out like a certain gang hideouts and all that. Spider-Man will have missions like for example, helping out citizens. There's even one mission where somebody is impersonating you, but they really want to help you. And yeah, there's lots of different side missions. There's one with Tombstone where there's actually 2 side missions that leads up to side bosses, right? Pretty epic. But yeah, Spider-Man has a lot of different content, collectibles as well. Also, too, Spider-Man has collectibles. So there are tons of collectibles like for Spider-Man, the backpack collectibles, the take pictures like of landscape collectibles, and like it really all adds to this well-rounded content, right? Prototype 2 has as well collectibles, right? Picking up black boxes, and as well, a sonar based collectible. So like you send out this sonar sensor like in the world, and you find a certain target, or there's sometimes collectibles. For example, there'll be stuff like you have to hunt down this one beast with this special type of XP, which gives you upgrades for like a certain power, the claws, the blades, tendrils, for example. So yeah, they're both games are pretty equal in content. Challenge modes, challenges. Prototype 2 has DLC challenges, cheat codes, tons of different upgrades. Spider-Man does add 2 extra story modes, I believe, or it's 3, the Sable story mode, and yeah. But like both games, they feel very similar. Like in just content, the content is almost the same. Spider-Man does have the better overall story. I felt more, the story was more memorable, and this is probably my favorite adaptation of Spider-Man. It's probably, yeah, like it's so well done in that this is exactly what a Spider-Man is. Prototype 2, however, does have its low points in the story, especially because, spoilers, the good guy from Prototype 1 is not the bad guy in Prototype 2. So that's kind of like a bummer. If you like Alex Mercer, he is now, with the bad guy like in Prototype 2. And there are high points and, low points in the story, right? But Prototype 2 is about this whole conspiracy and, taking out this black light virus, getting to the bottom of this evil military and all that. But overall, again, the content is very similar. It feels very similar. Prototype 2 may have a little bit more in because of its DLCs and the actual extra Radnet, side missions, and you can. There's this thing in it where basically like you have the ability to consume people, and then through that you basically take on their form. You gather up their memories, and through this you unlock more side missions. But like it's pretty equal. And another thing too, Spider-Man has the collectibles, the backpack collectibles, the landscape photos and all that, and you have other things like the science mission. So there's lots. There's a lot here between both games and side missions. Overall, mechanics and feel for the games. Both games you move extremely fast. Prototype 2 you move faster and heavier, because a Prototype 2 you're literally the jack of all trades. I feel like I am Superman mixed with like Martian Manhunter, mixed with Wolverine, a little bit of Spider-Man in there, like, and Hulk. You are a literal tank and super. You move so fast. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, the traversal is heavily reliant on obviously web slinging, a wall running. I can literally run on any surface, and he can swing as long as there's something for him to web onto, and yeah. But overall, the dodging, Spider-Man does have a better dodging than Prototype 2. Prototype 2 does have overall better, like in terms of blocking. Spider-Man, I'm not sure Spider-Man has actual blocking, but Prototype 2, the blocking is there. Prototype 2 has more combat options as well. It does have more, like in terms of like how you can battle like a like an enemy, whether it be like a giant infected, zombie swarm, evolved, and military tanks. There is more options. Like you have literal, your hand can turn like into these fists that literally stampede the ground. You have this dangerous blade. You have a whip fist and tendrils for crowd control. So like you have so many options like in terms of combat. You can always switch between any two like weapons, and there's 5 weapons like in total, so you can switch between them like at any time. But yeah, Spider-Man, the combat, I feel that Spider-Man I still needed like a little bit more in terms of combat options. But the good thing that Spider-Man does, it offers gadgets. So the anti-gravity bomb, the webbing, and swinging, all that. But like overall, mechanics and the overall I feel for the game, it's kind of equal, but I feel like Prototype 2 has slightly better mechanics. Spider-Man 2, however, Spider-Man does feel more fluent. It will feel more fluent playing the game. So overall, this is gonna be like powers, gadgets, and so on. Upgrades. Prototype 2, like I said before, you are literal, tank. You have so many powers like at your disposal. Especially like once you get the cheat codes, it's not even fair. Where you literally get laser eye vision, where it's an insta kill. That's an insta kill like the enemy. So like you have Prototype 2 will have a crowd control attacks, a slicing attacks, stampede attacks, ground takedowns, stretching attacks, like where you wanna grab something like from afar, super speed, superhuman durability, and all that. Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure everybody knows Spider-Man powers, but Spider-Man has spider sense, so he can literally he bullet dodge things, bullet dodge punches, attacks. Spider-Man also has a super strength as well, where he can take out big guys easily, web up people, swinging, superhuman agility and all that. But like Prototype 2 does have more in terms of powers. You also have shit. You also have literally, Prototype 2. You also have the ability to shapeshift, so you can shapeshift into any person that that the virus consumes. So a military personnel, science personnel, and you can literally use that form like a stealth. There's also memory. You can gather people's memory, and through that there's a whole side mission, a curve to the game, uncovering this conspiracy. Spider-Man 2, like in terms of like overall, gadgets. Spider-Man 2 has, I believe there's like how many gadgets? 8 different gadgets. The regular webbing, the impact webbing, the anti-gravity type bomb, the spider drone, and all that. So yeah, every gadget has their own advantage, uniqueness about them. And my favorite one is the one that it's like a gravity push. No, how it's called again? It's air push. So like you literally push the enemies away, like with this. What do you call it again? With this wind or whatever. It's like a spider wind thing. But yeah, like the gadgets, they replenish as you build up more combos, as you avoid getting hit and all that. So yeah. So overall, I went over things like content, mechanics, powers, gadgets. Overall DLC, Prototype 2, I felt had a better DLC. There's more like in terms of DLC. Spider-Man does a good thing. The one thing it does with the DLC, I wasn't really big on the Spider-Man DLCs, like the Spider-Man, the Sable DLC, the police, the one with what's her name, Yuri. I wasn't really big on them, but Spider-Man does give you, I believe it's 7 new, or it's like 8 new costumes through updates over the years. There's the a negative Spider-Man, I believe. There's another one where it's a Fantastic Four Spider-Man. And there's one where it's a literal Peter Parker Spider-Man. And yeah, they have different DLCs like for Spider-Man. The DLC for Prototype 2 is, crazy, ridiculous. You get these cheat codes, and you don't see cheat codes in games anymore. And like I said before, like there's the laser eye vision where you do a lot of damage. It does a lot, it literally takes out any enemy one hit. There's another one where there's an instant stampede. So if you do a super jump, there's an automatic stampede on the ground. and like it, it's good for crowd control. Another one where it's like you throw anything, it causes like a mini tornado. And yeah, Prototype 2 has a lot. Prototype 2 does has a lot. So a DLC, a Prototype 2 is better, and as well you're getting more side missions. I believe it's giving you more side missions, and more overall content and challenge mode. It's giving you more challenges. So a little bit now, like an overall upgrades. Prototype 2, the upgrade system is huge. It's pretty big. Spider-Man as well, and not as big, but Spider-Man, you're upgrading things like web slinging, movement, gadgets, and what's the other one again? Combat. So you're upgrading. Spider-Man, you're actually gonna upgrade a lot faster in Spider-Man, and there's not as much to upgrade. It's just the main thing, like with the gadgets, upgrading efficiency, inventory, like overall capacity, like for the things. Prototype 2 has a little bit more in terms of like overall, like there's different attributes. So upgrading things like health, stamina, super, speed, bulletproof. You can literally become bulletproof, durability. There's a lot to upgrade in Prototype 2. There's a lot to upgrade. And as well, a health bar, like overall health bar, you can, and then there are certain targets in the world, like beasts that you can consume. And once you consume these beasts, they literally give you like an automatic upgrade. And yeah, it's just there's so much to it. There's a lot to both games. But Prototype 2 has a slightly better upgrade system. And so again, I went over lots of things like content, powers, upgrades, overall mechanics. Another category, replayability, and just the overall fun. One thing Spider-Man does that's very special compared to Prototype is Spider-Man, the world feels more, it does feel more like, I don't know, well, the actual game itself feels more impactful and more memorable. Prototype 2, I don't know what it is. With certain open world games won't feel as memorable. But Prototype 2, what it does well, and the best thing it does is the arsenal and the powers it's giving you. And how you use those things. Spider-Man is a little bit different. Spider-Man is more, like it does great, like with the story, and as well, like with the overall, I feel for the game, just feels more impactful. But like, I don't know, replayability wise, I replay these games a lot, both games equally. There's lots, and then both games are easy, considered easy, relatively. But Spider-Man is a little bit harder than Prototype. Prototype 2, you are a literal beast, and very rarely will you die. It's best to play both these games on the hardest difficulty. Spider-Man, you will die a lot more than in Prototype 2. So Prototype 2 is easier. If you guys want like an easier game, Spider-Man is more challenging on the hardest difficulty. But overall, replayability, I feel like Spider-Man was more memorable because Prototype 2 is giving you so many powers. It's giving you a lot of things to work with. That's what a Prototype does best. Now, extra things. So both games have stealth. The stealth in Spider-Man is more slower pace, where you play as Miles Morales. Miles Morales, without his powers, he doesn't have his powers, and Mary Jane. And there is a few Spider-Man challenge stealth modes. These stealth modes, they are very slow paced and more of a traditional stealth. Stay behind cover, don't get seen by the enemy. The distractions. Prototype 2 stealth, however, it's a very unique type of stealth where you take on the form of somebody, and you can shapeshift. So I think kind of like the T-1000 from Terminator. You're literally like that. So you can shapeshift into soldiers or science, and then you can infiltrate military bases, gain intel, and once you consume somebody, you gain their memories, and there's a whole another web of, there'll be like a whole, like a brand new side mission will open up. So the stealth in Prototype 2 is huge. The stealth in it is very, it's a whole another mechanic in the game. And as well, the stealth, sometimes it will get annoying. There are sensors that can detect that you are not human, because you are the virus, and that's the virus gives you all of these abilities. And there are sensors, and if you act funny, if you move too fast in the disguise, you'll be blown. But yeah, sometimes, and as well, if you fail in stealth with a prototype 2, you won't, for the most part, you won't fail the mission unless it's stealth only. Spider-Man, if you fail in stealth, you will the mission will be failed and you have to start from a checkpoint or whatever. So yeah, there is stealth is more. It's a lot more focused in Spider-Man. Prototype 2 is more of stealth is more of a unique idea. It's a very unique take on stealth. Other things too, like extra things like challenge modes, challenging. Spider-Man has the challenges where like you have to extra other things. For example, Prototype 2 also has things like the radar mode, so you can literally send out this sonar sense, and then through that you have to gather this certain target, and it's a very unique type of mode. This is a very unique type of thing. And Spider-Man, however, does have puzzles, very different type of puzzles. The electrical circuit puzzle, the chemistry puzzle. There's things where Spider-Man can see objects like through walls, certain things that pop up like as green, and but overall, like, both games are very equal, like in a lot of categories. So let's go over them again. Replayability is pretty equal, content is pretty equal. Spider-Man has a better story. Spider-Man has better dodging. Prototype 2 has better. There's just overall more to work with, like in the gameplay. And another thing too, both games, Spider-Man does have slightly more enemy variety. It's kind of actually Prototype 2 does. Spider-Man does feel more, again, our replayability is equal. Mechanic upgrade system, Prototype 2 is better upgrade system. Difficulty, Prototype 2 is easier. So this is just all about what do you prefer, right? It's all about what you prefer. Prototype 2 has a better DLC, and Spider-Man 2 does have, however, more customization in terms of the uniforms you can get. And Spider-Man 2 has gadgets, and so this is a pretty equal one. It's a pretty equal one. I played Prototype 2 more times than Spider-Man. Spider-Man I replayed 4 times over the years. Prototype 2 I replayed 8 times, 9 times, and Prototype 2 was like one of my most anticipated games ever. I remember, like, when this first came out, I was so happy for it. But it's a shame we won't see a Prototype 3. Hopefully one day. Spider-Man 2 coming out later this year. I can't wait for that. I can't wait. But overall though, like, both games, again, it's just based on what you like, right? In my opinion, like, it's kind of hard to say, but because Prototype 2 gives you more. It gives you so many powers, and it's very unique. It's more of a unique type of game. It's very unique in that you have, again, you're like Superman, Martian Manhunter, the T-1000, the Hulk. Like, you have so many powers in one, and you feel like the literal jack of all trades. But Spider-Man is giving you that perfect adaptation, right, of Spider-Man in the world. The world feels kind of like more alive, kind of, and but overall, both games, that is pretty equal comparison. So please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.